Question, because this book published on Tuesday. Has anyone here read it already? Okay. Okay. So we're going to have a spoiler-free conversation regardless, but I always ask that because I'm just curious to gauge the audience.
What's the vibes?
The Art of Loving You just published on Tuesday. Congratulations. And she also just told me her birthday was on Wednesday, so happy belated birthday.
We aged.
Yeah, we aged.
We aged.
Lots to celebrate this week. Can you tell us what the book is about?
Okay, so this is book 2 in the Forever Falling series. We met Danny and Micah in Only for the Week, if you read that. And they have a lot of history between them, probably 11 years worth of history that not even the friend group knows about. Very much right person, wrong time. And when their shared mentor passes away, she sends them on this scavenger hunt across country to learn things about herself so that they can throw her this dramatic, larger-than-life homegoing. But along the way, they have to get to know each other again. So it's a little second chance.
Big second chance. 11 years, that's a big second chance.
I know. I don't know why every time I do a second chance, it's always like a decade's worth of history.
That makes it juicier. You know, the longer time that they spend apart, it makes it all, the angst, the yearning, it's like the levels go up.
Micah knows how to yearn. I will say that.
And he's an artist.
You know,
just the
artists,
creative
they
thing.
yearn.
Yes. His muse, like, it's all so well done. That's why I love the cover so much.
Yes.
To see him painting her is
Yes.
very spot on. Second question for the audience. How many people here have read Only for the Week? Okay. I figured. All right. I figured. So, this is the second book in your Forever Falling series, as you said. Only for the Week, originally published in 2024. What was it like to return to this world and focus on a new set of main characters?
It was definitely different because, full disclosure, this is a very different book than Only for the Week. They are not hunching in chapter 3. You will have to wait. Sorry, Mom. But it was different because with Only for the Week they were on vacation. You know, we were on the beach. We were having a great time. But with this one, they're home, aside from when they're traveling for the scavenger hunt, and so it was a completely different vibe going into this story. But it felt really good. I like a slow burn. I like the tension, those intimate moments before they get to getting. I like the build up there, so I got to go with that.
To your point, tonally, it is quite different than Only for the Week.
It's a heavier book, I think.
It is heavier, but also it's longer. It's a little bit longer.
She's thick. She's 3 C's.
Yeah, because then, of course, Only for the Week is a week long.
Yeah.
But in this book, they have a little bit more time. I feel like this mic is...
I know. I feel
giving weird feedback. Am I loud enough? No?
Oh,
okay. So,
we need to project like this.
I know. I could go without the mic. I was a cheerleader. It's good? Okay, I think it's good. But anyway, what I was saying is that tonally it is different, but I appreciated that because I think each book that you write, especially in a connected standalone series, the plot really depends on the characters and who they are, and I think it feels very organic that this story happened the way that it did, as opposed to the way that Only for the Week unfolded. As you said, it's hinted to readers in Only for the Week that Danny and Micah have a past. And in this book, we get to see that second chance romance unfold. What drew you to writing Second Chance for these two characters, and what elements do you think are important to include when writing Second Chance?
So when I go into writing a story, I always start with the characters. I'm very character-driven. I don't go into it thinking of tropes first. They just kind of happen as their story unfolds, and I'm like, oh, this trope that fits. And so with this story, it was very much the same. It was just whatever their story and who they are as people told me their story should be about. But I do think I love a second chance in books, not so much in real life. Because, men. But I do think in a second chance, it's very important to show people growing individually. I think we need to see the growth of them as people outside of them as a couple. And if we don't have that, then how is it going to work the second time around? So I think that's the most important part.
I think of all the tropes, second chance is the most hard one. It's the hardest to win readers over with. Because like you're saying, in real life, spinning the block, like, it's not always a good idea.
Don't
but
do that.
we already at the outset have like
Yes.
an uphill battle a little bit to
Yeah.
prove to the reader, like, okay, these people
Yeah.
deserve to be together.
And I think second chance is hard on readers too because y'all are hard on FMCs.
That's also true.
Holding up the mirror. Y'all see yourselves in that FMC and you're like, oh, I hate her. Let's rethink. Let's rethink that. So I think that's really hard. They're like, oh, I hate her.
Yes.
She's so annoying. I think you're talking to yourself, Pookie.
But then also, if it's your friend, right, and they tell you that they want to get back together with an ex, you're immediately like, why? Like you have for thinking of a friend or your friend talking to you, they're immediately like, I don't really know about that. And so, I mean, it's understandable, but I think that what I love about the second chance in this book is that they're both very likable in a way that it's not like you went out of your way to make them likable or like you were writing out of a fear that they would be unlikable, but you root for both of them from the beginning, and I think that makes it so much easier. Because even though as a reader you're watching them work through whatever issues they have, the thought isn't they shouldn't be together. The thought is figure it out.
Get your shit together.
Yeah, because as the reader, you want to see them get together. So I really loved it. Dani was once a model, but she has since taken control of her life and career to be a full-time influencer. And she has great discernment when deciding what brands she chooses to work with. Why did you choose to give her this career, and how do you think being an influencer speaks to the core of her character?
Yeah, I think that you'll see in the book some of the things that she went through as a model, a lot of the hardships, and I think a lot of people discount when you're a model. You see on the shows, they think that models are stupid, they think models are just one thing, and she's very much not that, and a lot of the things that she went through behind the scenes informed how guarded she is today. But her stepping into being an influencer gave her more control, which I think is something we can relate to for being indie authors versus traditional authors and the control factor in there. And for her, that was kind of how I related to her in terms of her career. But also just being a watcher of influencers on social media, I can't remember who it was, but there was an influencer on TikTok who talked about how she was 31 and she felt like she was in this space that was a young person's game, and she didn't quite know where she fit in and how she was able to make her content feel more grown and feel herself while also keeping her audience. And I very much thought that's a struggle Dani for sure has. And so I wanted to include that in the story. And then I thought that her creativity is very different than Micah's creativity. And I like how their creativities blend together.
I was going to bring up that creativity tie that they have because their outlets or the way they express their creativity is different, of course. But they are working together to do the scavenger hunt, but also to plan this big party for their mentor. And I liked the way that their different creative abilities played off of each other. Because of it's like, when you read it, there are these moments when they connect on a creative level with what they're doing, but you can tell that Dani's like, I don't really want to connect with him, but she can't help that she does. Speaking of Micah, I have a similar question. He's a very talented artist, and like many creatives, he uses his art as an outlet. Dani is also his muse, which we can see on the cover of the book. Why did you choose to make him an artist, and how does being an artist speak to the core of his character?
Yeah, I think he very much is a person. He struggles with survivor's remorse. A lot of people that he's lost in his life, he has those struggles of, well, why did they not make it and I'm still here? And art is very much an outlet for him to deal with that pain. But also, he's just a more sensitive person. I think you see that in Only for the Week with the hell he gives Christian about his wholeness. He's just a sensitive person. Artists are sensitive about their shit, and so it definitely speaks to who he is and how he communicates with people. And he doesn't always do that the best. There's a scene in the book where they are filming content for kind of like a mockumentary they're making for Tanya's memory, and he literally tells Danny she seems stiff. And I was like, oh, honey, why would you say that to her? And she's like, I'm not bothered. Wants to kill him.
I love how you're talking about them like you were writing it, right? You
There
were
are
writing
real
it.
people in my head,
Right.
and so they talk to me. I
Yes.
did not tell him to say that.
I'm going to skip to a different question because this kind of goes into that.
Okay.
You've written this book in dual point of view, first person.
Mm-hmm.
But there was never a moment where I was confused, like, wait, whose chapter is this? Because their voices are very distinct. So this is a two-parter. My first question is, how do you differentiate voice while you're writing? And my second question sort of goes off of what you were saying, how they talk to you, because it's true. You start a chapter and then you
Yeah.
think it's going one way and then the characters just kind of do whatever.
They don't listen.
Does that happen to you a lot?
They never listen. They never listen. I will actually go back to Only for the Week because this
Okay.
scene kills me every time. There's a scene in Only for the Week where they are at a fruit stand, right? I did not plan that scene. I spent so much time on that scene because I was like, what fruit are they getting? I don't want it to be a basic fruit like a mango. Like, it's got to be exotic. It's got to be different. And I spent so much time on that scene, y'all. I cussed myself out. But who told them to go to this fruit stand? I did not. And it's very much, it happens every book. They don't listen. They go off on their own path. And that's why with my outlines, I keep it very general because I know they're going to go off script anyway. But I also talk to them like they're real people. Don't 5150 me, I'm fine. You can ask my mom. You can ask the man in the back. They've walked in on me having conversations with myself because I like to do the dialogue out loud just to make sure that it reads like a real conversation. Do you do that?
Yeah, after I read it out.
Yes. Yeah. And they'll walk in, they're like, you're working. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I'm working. So, yeah. But them being, again, I'm very character driven. And so for me, it's easy to differentiate their voices. I will say it's a little bit harder with the male side, only because I do want it to sound like it's a man speaking. And sometimes I'll be like, he would not know what kind of dress she has on right now. Like, you described that with too much detail. Let's go back.
I think you do a really good job, though. I feel with this book and with Only for the Week, I feel fully immersed in the first person narration of the man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're women. We're writing men how we want them to be. So,
Exactly.
but I think you
if
do.
we
a really
wanted real men. We don't.
Right. They're the best versions of themselves in these books.
Exactly.
But going back to what you said about outlining, but you write character-driven stories. So where do you start with your outlines? Do you do like character outlines first and then do the plot?
Yeah, I get to know the characters on a deep level. They have backstories that y'all will never see on the page. I do like their enneagrams,
Okay.
like assign them their birthdays and zodiacs. It goes too deep, y'all. But then my outline, I need a general direction of where they're going because the ADHD is squirrel. I'm just like, I have learned my lesson the hard way a couple of times, is that I'll stop. I'm like, I'm bored writing the outline, and I'll stop and just start writing.
Yeah.
And even though I have like half the book outlined, I'm still like, but I don't have the rest. Like, where are we going? Where are we going to end up in chapter 24? I don't know. So I do need a general, just basic, where are they going to, I like to start with, who are they at the start of the chapter? Who are they going to be at the end of the chapter? That's
Okay.
all I need. That's all I need. I can't go into too much detail because, again, they don't listen.
And so, do you go chapter by chapter, or do you, so you don't have like a board that has?
No.
Mm. Okay.
No. We go chapter by chapter.
So you're like a discovery outliner, kind of.
Yeah, I have to.
Okay.
If I don't have a general of every single chapter, that book's not getting written.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way, especially with deadlines, because you get paid when you hand in your book.
Don't talk to me about deadlines, Kristina.
I want to know what their zodiac signs are.
So Danny is a Capricorn.
Oh, like me.
Yeah. And Micah is a Taurus.
Oh, both. Ooh,
I know.
some Taurus hate in the audience.
Wait a minute.
Not too much.
Yeah.
Earth sign representation. Okay, good. That's good to know. Wait, so what about in Only for the Week? What are their signs?
Now you're challenging my memory. Janelle is a Pisces.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And Rome is a Libra.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
They were happy about that.
Apparently.
That's good to know. She does give Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
She does. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, her patience. Oh my God.
Of a saint.
Seriously. Okay, so back to Danny and Micah.
Yes.
They originally met because of their mentor, Tanya. And after she passes away, her dying wish is for them to unite on a scavenger hunt road trip in her honor. How did you go about choosing the items and locations for their scavenger hunt?
Yeah. So I learned a lot about Tanya as I was writing. I knew her overall, but I think she developed a lot more depth than I had originally planned for her as I was writing the story. And then the locations just kind of happened based on what she needed, what I needed Danny and Micah to find during the scavenger hunt. And I used locations of friends that I had, like, teach me about your city, your state. So that's less research I have to do. But it just came about as the depth of her character, because there was a lot of stops that happened that I didn't have planned, but I needed to add them because of who Tanya was. I was like, they need to know this about her. This is important.
I think that what I loved about the scavenger hunt, from a reader's perspective, but also from a writer's perspective, is that it allows it. That's how you lay the groundwork, right? And so you always have the next thing that you're
Yeah.
moving toward. And as a reader, especially because we read so much, when I was reading this, there was never a point where I felt like, oh, okay, because I'm like, oh, they have a new item.
Yeah.
What's coming next? What's coming next? And
Yeah.
as we're watching their romance unfold, I just thought it was very, very well plotted. It's a very good plot device.
And I did not care about y'all while I was writing that scavenger hunt. I had so much fun. I was like, if they get it, they get it. But if they don't, I had fun.
So I saw that you were you doing one on Instagram, kind of?
Yes, I am doing how many of y'all are participating in the scavenger hunt, the live one I'm doing? Y'all don't know what's going on? Oh, okay.
Get into it.
Okay.
Tell them.
So I am doing a real life scavenger hunt as promo for this book up until this upcoming weekend. So what you can get is 10 bonus chapters. They're all flashback from Danny's POV that shows her and Micah's history. And you get artwork that goes along with each chapter. But it is live here in the DMV. You can get physical prints, but you have to go on an actual scavenger hunt. And I'm just saying that Charm City might be one of the locations. So you might want to go check that out. I might give you the code word at the signing line, and you can go check them out and get your print.
See? Interactive marketing.
Interactive marketing, she tries sometimes.
No, I love it. So speaking of Charm City, but also the DMV area, much of this book is set in Baltimore, and majority of the characters in this series are from Baltimore, right? Why did you choose this setting, and what importance does the city of Baltimore have to this book and the series overall?
Yeah, so I'm from here, born and raised. And so with my first series, that was set in Austin, Texas, which I still never been there.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why it was set there. They were just like, this is where we are. And I was like, okay. So with this series, I really wanted it to be at home, and I really wanted to showcase my city in a great way. And also the characters themselves, they have a deep tie to their city. All of their jobs that they have, the boys have a foundation, and they're very much into building the city up. Janelle, in Only for the Week, she has a labor center that specializes in helping women of color during their birth journey. And these are all things that I would love to see here in our city, and so I wanted to emphasize that and really give them that opportunity, especially because all of these characters in this series are very wealthy. And so I wanted them to be able to pour back into the city. It's something I hope to do one day, so I wanted to give the characters that chance.
I loved that aspect of the book, that all of the friends are doing well for themselves, but they haven't forgotten where they came from. And I think that's particularly such an important part, of course, of what Danny and Micah are doing from how they grew up, like the program that they were part of, how they met Tanya and everything. But the way that they continue to pour into their community, I think, is really important, and is something that we all should always be thinking about.
Absolutely.
So I just loved seeing that in the book. Going off of, you brought up your previous series. So I have a few series questions in general, because and you talked also about how this started indie. Originally it was indie. So I would just love because like when you think about it, you wrote this book, and because I think I read that you wrote it for an anthology. And
well, it was supposed to be, yeah.
It was supposed to be. So can you just talk about how we got here?
So I was 3 books into the Lost and Found series, and I really just needed a break from them. And so this anthology came up that I was going to be a part of, and they had no rules. It was just supposed to be 10,000 words. All you had to do was include a wedding. And so Only for the Week was supposed to be a much shorter, just cover your ears, just fucking, you know. And that was pretty much it. But then the anthology, I should have told your mom to close her ears too. I'm so sorry. And then the anthology didn't happen. And so Janelle and Rome were really loud in my ear, so I had to keep going and tell their story. And now we're here, and I haven't gone back to Lost and Found yet, which I am getting in trouble for that too, but we're going back. We're going back. I swear. So yeah, it was just supposed to be a little tiny break in the matrix, but.
And so then when did you so they kept talking to you, and were you just like, I'm just going to write this whole thing and publish it?
Yeah, I was like, no, I need to tell their story. And I always knew that the friends were getting books, but I couldn't think of a series name, and I was like, we just going to put it out like it's a standalone. They'll find out the truth later. I don't know. And it spiraled. I was not expecting the reaction y'all had to Only for the Week. I'm very thankful, but I was very caught off guard.
When did you realize that something was happening?
My phone, the notifications on my phone, I was like, what's that about? I don't get notifications like that. And it was just people posting and posting and posting, and I was like, oh, they like it. They like her, because I really was like, I don't know. People might think it's boring. People might think, I don't know, but I like it, so I'm putting it out.
That's so funny about sometimes the perspective that we lack. Because how could you ever think that was boring? The drama? Like, what? You know? No way.
I didn't know. I didn't know. It's just like, I just knew that I liked it. And so respectfully, I was like, they gonna get this story whether they like it or not. But y'all liked it.
And so how soon after you finished Only for the Week did you realize that Danny and Micah were next?
I always knew they were next.
Okay.
Yeah, I always knew they were next. Evie is going to be next after Danny and Micah. And I've had there's 2 different men that people think she should end up with.
Yes. Okay.
people have their thoughts. I personally, I do know who she's going to end up with, but I will not be sharing. Um, and so I always knew, like, it was pretty clear that Danny and Micah had that history in Only for the Week, so I always knew they were going to be the next story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of my questions actually is what's next for you? But it's Evie's book. Can you tell us anything?
Evie she's a gamer girl. No.
She's like, no.
Actually, I can't.
Next year?
Yes.
Next year, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have a really fun rapid fire,
Oh,
but I have
God.
one more. No, I promise it's fun. I do have one question that you also brought up about how you started off as indie and now you're trad. And so what has that experience been like switching from, well, you're hybrid because your original series is still indie right now.
Lost and Found is still indie, will continue to be indie, and I'm still going to do indie, I think, forever.
Okay.
I'm never giving that up. I just love being an indie author, but I'm still going to go traditional as well. But it's been a very different process going traditional. How y'all do things is weird. It's
the huge lack of transparency.
Yeah. It's the lack of control that I've had to get used to, but also the deadlines.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, that was real. Like you actually meant it. It wasn't a suggestion. Okay. And then also just the editing process. I'm very much a edit as you go type of person. So when I'm done writing, it's the story I want it to be. Whereas they're like, just give it to me. It doesn't even have to be done. And I'm like, what do you mean? Why would I let anyone's eyes see this trash that I've produced? So that was a very, very different process. On top of the fact that Danny and Micah's story was a harder story to write, just based on how vulnerable it is and how vulnerable I had to be to write it. So dealing with those two situations at the same time was a lot, but it was great. We're going to continue doing that, hopefully.
So sorry, I keep going off because the things you say there like sparking more questions. But with the scavenger hunt and the additional chapters that is from their history, was that like cut material?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually had the flashbacks in the book, and I was asked to remove them from the book. But I was very tied to that material. I really wanted you guys to see their history, like full stop. And so I was like, well, how can I get it into their hands? Like, how can I sneak this in? So the scavenger hunt was born. So now I'm making y'all work for it, but oh well. Y'all be okay.
Okay. I was wondering where that came from, but I love that. Okay, so before we open up to audience questions, I have a quick rapid fire.
I'm not good at rapid fire.
Would you rather go on a scavenger hunt with your ex or read a book on a yacht with your new fling?
I do love a good scavenger hunt, but I am going to take the yacht.
Okay, that makes sense. What's your favorite romance trope?
Marriage of convenience.
Me too. A romance trope you haven't written yet but want to write.
Marriage of convenience.
Okay. So I see that you have a playlist for this book. And you post about like music with your books a lot.
Yeah.
So do you have one perfect song to pair with this book?
Oh, God. Hold, please. Where is the playlist? There it is. Her and Bryson Tiller could have been.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Can I tell you mine?
Yes.
I said We Can't Be Friends by Deborah Cox and RL.
Ooh, that's
I felt
a
like
good
it,
one.
like,
Yeah.
Capture that song.
That's
Well,
a
that
good
was
one.
it for me.
Thank you so much.
I think we can open it up to audience questions now.
Hello.
So my question is, if you just found out about the scavenger hunt today, and you do not have time to finish the scavenger hunt, is there going to be a way to read the other chapters later?
So you can do the scavenger hunt digitally.
Okay.
If you prefer. So if you go to my website, I'm gonna just tell y'all because we all in the club. If you go to my website, there's a page called The Hunt, and you need a password to get in there. The password is archives, and it will give you a crossword puzzle that gives you all the code words you need. If you just solve that and send it to a specific Instagram page, you get the chapters.
Thank you.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
My question is for, I guess, the both of you, but what is your favorite aspect about writing male main characters?
Ooh, you go. You go. No, you go.
I think, loud. I think, particularly because we write Black romance, I think that it's important to write Black main characters who are sensitive and well-rounded and who are supportive of the Black women that they love. And sometimes, like you were saying, I get a little like, does this sound too much like a woman talking like a man? But then I'm like, that's probably what the girls want to read anyway. So I just but I think that's what's most important to me, writing these like fully realized male characters who feel like human, feel like the people that we know in our lives.
Yeah, and to go along with that, I think there's a portion, though we write Black men who love their women, and that's important for them to be supportive and show them as loving individuals who are okay with being sensitive. It's just as important to show the women loving them back and the love that they'll receive from us, and how that goes full circle. Yeah.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
I'm here for the tea, so I'm going to ask both of you a question. Okay. Dream cast, because the fans do this all the time. If you had to cast only for the week, and Kristina, the Green Sisters, I want to know your dream picks for each cast.
You got 3 books to pass. So you think on that.
I have people for you.
Do you?
For only for the week.
Okay. Go ahead.
No. Oh, okay. What's his name that was on the show Watchmen with Regina King?
Oh, Yaya?
Him.
Ooh, yes.
And then, well, it was really just him. Just him. Can you imagine him just like sitting on a yacht with you while you're reading, and he's just sitting there?
I'd love
like,
to sit on a yacht with that man.
Yeah,
For me, I think, at least physically, I kind of pictured Winston Duke. Because, Rome's a thick guy. He got them tree trunk thighs. And so, yeah, and I heard Winston wants to do romance. I heard through the grapevine. So, I don't know, tag him. I don't think I have a specific person for Janelle, but I would want to stay very true to the book and her being plus size. I don't want us to make her thin in any way. That's a part of who she is. So whoever it may be, she got to be thick.
Gotcha.
I do love her. Yes.
That's a good one too.
Okay, get to it.
For the
Right.
for the sisters, honestly, the only one who I sometimes have a very clear picture of is Iris. But the actress, she's a little bit older now. Nicole Bahari.
Oh, I love
I've always seen her as Iris.
I love her.
I know. She's the only one, though, who has been very clear to me. Everyone else, I'm like, if somebody wants it, please. Make the movie.
We'll send you some suggestions.
Okay.
Hi. So I have 2 questions. My first question is, I know that you said that you know how you want your book to start and how you want it to end, but it speaks to you. The characters speak to you. So when they take a different direction, do you change everything, or do you still try to get to the ending that you originally planned?
Oh no, I just let them change it. Because I think you can tell when it's forced.
Yeah.
So I may have a direction for them, but if they start going in a drastically different direction and I try to pull them back, it's not going to work. And I want to remain as authentic to them as I can be. And so if they go in a different direction, then I guess it's fuck me.
And my second question is, and I think this is for both of you, especially because you are indie and you're trad, what is something about the business that you wish that you know now that you wish you knew when you started?
I think it's very important when you're going from being indie to being traditional to understand your worth. Because I think a lot of these publishers will try to play in your face as if, you know, the reason we're even having this discussion is because of the success on the indie side.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't come to you, you came to me. And so I think it's important when you're making that transition to understand who you are as a person and what your vision is, what your style is, and stick to that and be authentic to yourself and understand your worth, because they will try to take it from you.
That's true, and I think to your point, a lot right now, publishing is following what's popular
Yeah.
in indie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Yeah.
that's.
I think
really
a lot
good
of
point.
times traditional publishers can be a little bit behind the curve.
They're very risk averse too. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. So, if you have a vision for yourself and your story, and you try to pitch it traditionally, if they try to change it in any way, that's not the publisher for you. I would say.
And how do you feel?
I agree. I think knowing your worth and also try your best to have a clear vision for what you want, because that's people will try to tell you different things about how they think your book should go or your career or even where you should go out on tour.
Yeah.
They will try to control you. I know, but it sounds like we are in a really fucked up situation. I promise we're okay. But to like she's saying, to know your worth, but also to have a very clear vision of what it is that you want to be doing and to stick to your guns, I think is the most important thing, because
Yeah.
there are a lot of people who it's a business, so they have different goals sometimes than what you might have, and so
Yeah.
I think that's something to know from the outset.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last thing is I think your books are so beautiful, and I'm very blessed to have met you guys and to know that you guys are just as beautiful as your books are.
Oh, thank you. Hi.
Oh, wait, got a mini person up here. First, yes, I looked at the cover for Only for the Week and definitely thought, oh, this could be Winston Duke's cousin. So definitely, I see you there.
You see the vision.
Two questions related-ish, not really. So the first would be, of your female characters, which one do you think is most like you, or that you see yourself the most in? And then they don't have to match, but which of the men that you've written are you like, nah, I did my big one on this one. Like, I want this man to be real for me.
Well, for the male, I know y'all would like me to say Rome, and he's great. He's fantastic. But I would say maybe Micah or Kai from Where We Found Our Passion. Okay, thank you. And for the women, I think there's a piece of me in all of my women characters, but I think the women in the Forever Falling series, very much each of them has a big component of who I am in them. And with Janelle, it's the people pleasing. And with Danny, it's just the guardedness, the stepping into your armor, and I think that's true of all women. We have to step into our armor when we start our day to not be so vulnerable.
I see Micah for you.
Yeah?
Yeah, fictionally. Yeah, I see the personalities. Oh, did
Yeah,
oh,
both
yeah.
of you.
Oh. I think I'm the most like Iris, but I think of them like zodiacs, like your sun, moon, rising, and so I think that my sun, which is I think that's who you're like all the time, or right, like Iris, and then my moon is Lily, who I am underneath all the things, and then my rising. Is that who you are like around your friends and stuff?
I don't know.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe I don't even know what I'm talking about. But like in my head, I thought that your rising was who you are around the people you really know. And maybe I made
I don't
that
know
up.
anything about.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the risings and the.
Okay,
the moons.
yeah. Well, I obviously need to go back to Google, but I thought I always said Violet for like who I am around like my friends and family is like
Okay.
Violet. That's what.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
The man.
Oh, the man. Oh, the men. Oh my God, Angel, he's rich. He's got money.
No,
No,
because
but he's so sweet. But because he's nice too. But
I love you so much, and I love Partner Plot. I do, and I love Xavier. I said, why he ain't got no money?
that's his whole thing. Because she does and he doesn't.
I said, oh.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, you know.
He said, like, there was one chapter where he literally said, like, 3 times, I'd never be able to afford this. And I said, it's enough now. But I I love him.
He's
such a
like,
good
what do I have
man.
to offer her? It's like, shut up. Get more money.
Stop saying it.
I know. Isn't that horrible?
Thank you both, and I do love Angel.
Yes.
Hello. Hi. So I'm glad to find out that you're going to pick back up the Lost and Found series. Cause I was like, oh no, what happened?
I am going back.
Yeah, I love all your books. I just finished Zyla and Kai.
Oh, cool.
Now that was very cute. So my question is for people that are aspiring authors, what would you suggest when just starting?
Just start. Just starting and doing it is the most important part, and you might be scared while you're doing it, but do it anyway. I think when you're nervous about something or you're scared of something, that means that it's something you care about. And so you're going to put your best foot forward there, and also find your tribe. Not just people who tell you what you want to hear, not people who try to direct you in some sort of way, but people who are just there to make you better, to push you when you need to be pushed. I think we all need our circle around us, so find those people.
Yeah, that's really good advice. And then to add to that, I would say to come up with a writing schedule and protect that writing time. Even if it's just you start with like 1 hour on Sundays, but you do it every Sunday, because you can't edit what's not there. And so just to find the time to write and be protective of that time.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Hello, ladies. Nice to meet you both. With you being traditionally published now and you being traditionally published, how hard is it to find your audiobook narrators? And who is your dream narrator for any of your former books or upcoming books?
So I had my audiobook deal before I went traditional. And
me.
so those are
Sorry.
so those are through Tantor. And
Okay.
so that was a completely separate thing, and I did get to pick. So Jay Shawnee and Winston. We'll be doing The Art of Loving You as well, but it's not coming out till November. I didn't have any say in that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But so I very much got to pick. I think dream people to work with, besides who I've already worked with, would be, have y'all ever heard Sharif Stevens? Yeah, I love him.
Okay.
Emmanuel Ingram, Wesley, for sure, Wesley Siobhan. She could just do it by herself.
Okay.
It's her male voice eats down too. Yeah.
I would say dream for me would also be Wesley. And similarly, at Penguin Random House, I think it's probably the same across all the publishers, but like you have an audiobook editor who will send you clips.
Okay.
And sometimes they're reading text from the book, and then sometimes they're reading clips from something else, and you just listen to them. you just listen to them, and then you choose sort of from that pool, which is fun.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
it kind of like they find them, and then we like go through it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Benjamin Charles too. He's another good one. Yeah, he's good.
Hi, oh my god. Sorry. I'm also from Baltimore, born and raised, so reading your books, I was like, finally. I feel like people are like, Baltimore is so underrated. I feel like people don't like use it as a backdrop for a lot of things.
Yeah.
But my question was, for both of you, like, how do you, this might sound weird, but how do you meet your characters? Like, do other people like inspire them, or do they one day just like pop into your head and you get to know them?
For me, they just appear. They just start talking. It's very inconvenient. And I just have to listen to them. I mean, that's how I started publishing, was because we were in COVID. And I had so much free time because I couldn't go outside. And Lincoln and Sierra were just very loud, and I was trying my best to ignore them, but they weren't having that, and that's just what all my characters do, so I just go with it. I just make it happen.
I love that like if you were to look back, what was this, 2020? When you were
2021 was the first year I published, yeah.
That was 5, 6, what's math? 4 or 5 years. 5 years. 5 years. 5 years ago, you got this idea, and now look. You know what I mean? Like the trajectory is just amazing within such a short time frame. You know?
I know. This is.
It really is very amazing.
I sometimes have to remind myself of that because I had big plans. Like Lost and Found was supposed to be done years ago, in my mind. But I have to remind myself that like I'm doing great. I'm doing a good job.
Yes, we did this panel together last May. Do you remember that? And one of the questions, I was like, "You're a very prolific writer." And she was like, "Me?" I was like, "Yes, girl. You've written like 5 books and like well."
Prolific is crazy.
But you are though. You know, it's been that's like what, almost a book, right? Yeah. And she's like, And then I also wrote the sample chapters to send out. You know, like she's writing. You know, it's just very impressive.
What was the question?
Yeah.
Oh,
How do you meet your characters?
Okay. So I sometimes get a concept first, and then the character, they will come to me like a personality, like the personality that matches whatever that concept is, and so it's almost like a mist personality existing, and then I give them like a name, and you're laughing. Then I give them like a name and like fill them out, but it's more of like a vibe of who they would be, and then I sort of go from there. And I just like, it starts off as in the Notes app, like this idea, and then you let it bake, and a little bit.
You're painting so many different pictures.
I know. I feel like this answer is all over the place. Sometimes it does feel that way, but
thank you.
Hi guys. First of all, I love you guys. It's actually my birthday. It's me and my twins' birthday.
Happy birthday!
Hey, Aries gang.
Happy belated Aries, love you, girl. It's a very simple question. I just wanted to know who are you guys' favorite authors and who you look up to?
Yeah, I have a lot.
That's good.
Definitely Kristina.
Yes.
I'm not just saying that because you're here.
No, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
But I definitely look up to you as a writer and a person. I think I had met you before I even read one of your books, and I was just like, who she is as a person, I just really like her and appreciate her. Yeah. And then in my friend group, I have J.L. Seegers, Asia Monique, and A.E. Valdez, who are also my favorites.
I love A.E. Valdez.
Yes.
Yes.
And then also we have Alexandra Warren, Christina C. Jones, and
Yes, I love her. Oh my gosh.
her backlist is insane. Her catalog is crazy, but also just who she is as a businesswoman. I admire her so much and look up to her. Nicole Falls and Monique, Kimberly Brown, Danielle Allen, Rosie Adams.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love them all.
Yeah.
Love them all. Love 'em all.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say the same for Natahsa's because we're peers, and it's really nice when you meet someone who's very kind. Because writing is a solitary job. Because even when you have your friends, you're writing by yourself.
You're writing by yourself.
And so I'm really glad that our paths cross and we get to do events and stuff together because that's always really nice. But I love her books, and so I'm here as a fan. When she asked me if I would do this, I was like, yes, I've already read it. So I will come up with those questions. But I also love Danielle Allen. I was with her the other day. Tia Williams is another one of my favorite authors. I really admire her career. Of course, Kennedy, I love too. I also
feel like Kennedy's the blueprint.
Yeah.
No, she's like shining
up
star
there.
of like where you would like want to be in your career. And I also really love Beverly Jenkins.
Yes.
Obsessed. I met her twice. When she was at BR, I was like so afraid to walk up to her. I had to get emotional support Dr. Pepper first. I was like, I need sugar. And I chugged it, and it was like, hi. But she's also someone who has extremely prolific career. I think that like what I want for myself, and I think what we all want, is like one day somebody finds your book, and then they're like, oh, I like that, and then they look you up and see that you have all these other books, because that's how I felt when I discovered Beverly Jenkins, and so.
And she's funny as hell.
She is.
She's a wild one.
Yeah.
I actually really love that for you guys because in any area for Black women, period, having that support together as one really speaks volumes. So I'm just glad that you guys get to love on each other. So
Yeah, I think that's my favorite part of being a part of this community is that indie authors and traditional authors, we really support each other and get each other through the humps, and like we don't gatekeep information. Like we've really built a solid formation with each other.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
I'm a little tall. This is going to be a little bit of a heavy question. But, you know, with all the things negative that affect Black women throughout the world, I think it is a very revolutionary act to write about Black women being vulnerable and Black women being loved, especially in a world that, I wrote this out, sorry y'all, especially in a world that tries to harden us and take so much from us. And I think that you both make so many Black women feel heard, feel seen. And so I just want to ask, how do you respond to people who try to minimize the powerfulness of your influence?
Ooh. You go first.
You know what? To be completely honest with you, I just don't even pay attention to it. I really don't. And I think, for example, like when with You, Me, and Tuscany came out, and I was like, this is so fun. Go see it, y'all. And then you see the discourse, people being like, why is she in Italy? It's like, black people go to Italy. They do go. And this idea that because it's like a fun movie, it lacks substance. And I think sometimes when writing romance, we can sometimes be, people have the greater literature at large can sometimes have that assumption about us. But then romance literally keeps the lights on at these publishing houses. The romance industry makes so much money. And I think mostly what I think about is the positive, like what you were saying, what we do pour into our readers. That's kind of what I think about. I
think romance is the most discounted genre
Yeah.
in the literary space, but it's also the most educational. I think there's a lot that you can learn about yourself. There's a lot you can learn about life and relationships through a romance book. And so I just don't give a fuck.
You know.
And I think that goes along with this book as well, is what I really want people to take away is that the world is not a safe space for all women, especially Black women. We often have to step into our armor. That's just a piece of life. But what I really want people to take away is that when you find people who are that safe space for you, to really lean into that and not push them away. And so I think that goes with what we have to do every day as well, is we just have to block the other shit out.
Also, one more question. Do you watch One Piece?
Yes. So
Okay.
the man child in the back is like, yeah, I got her on it.
Period. Okay. Yeah.
That's where Chopper and Frankie come from in the book, yes.
Yeah, I'm on Wano right now, so I'm like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes,
Thank
I do.
y'all.
You're welcome.
Hi, ladies. My question is, what is a typical day-to-day like for you guys writing? Is it-
Well, I don't actually write full time. I actually have a day job. So I know. Buy the books, y'all. Retire me. Thank you. But it very much is just like, what kind of energy do I have when I'm... So sorry.
It's okay.
What kind of energy do I have after a work day? I'm very much a nighttime writer. I tried the early morning thing, and it just was not for me. The words were, you know, when you write a paper that's due at 11:59, and you're writing the paper at 11:30. That's what writing in the early morning is for me. So I'm a nighttime writer, and whenever I have a free moment, if I can write at work, I'm gonna do that.
I when I was working full time, because I used to work full time in publishing, and that was my old life. Yeah, I was on both sides. But I wrote at night too, because in the morning I would get up at like 5:30. My brain wouldn't start working till like 6:30, so I'm just sitting. You know, it feels like you're like wasting time. But I Monday through Friday I'm writing, and I try to have my butt in a chair by 9 to start writing, and every day. It depends on where my brain is at, because you know I think that's the thing about writing is like when you have a different kind of job. You can try your best every day, and that's okay, like
Yeah.
whatever you give out. But if you have a bad day, you're tired, mental, whatever, and you write bad words, you have to go back and redo it. So it's just like you're making more work for yourself. But yeah, I butt in a chair Monday through Friday, sometimes on Saturday if my deadline is really, really creeping up on me. But yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
You're
welcome.
Hi. So
Hi.
2 questions.
Yes.
Are you physical readers or e-readers?
E-reader. I have an extensive physical collection, but it's hard for me to hold a book in my hand often because I just don't have that kind of time. So, but I always got the Kindle or my phone on me. So, or an audiobook girl. I'm also that.
Same. I prefer ultimately a physical book, but I read so much faster on my Kindle or the Kindle app on my phone.
Yeah,
That's
they're
just
so much faster. Yeah.
Okay. And number 2, what are you currently reading?
What am I currently reading?
I know.
I'm reading a couple arcs right now.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can't know about that. That's
Yeah. Well, I'm reading yours.
Oh, you are?
Yes, I'm reading yours. I'm reading Score. Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I am better than y'all. And another book that I won't say.
okay.
I don't know if you guys read YA, but Elise Bryant writes YA, and I am reading her. Ooh, actually, she didn't read announcements. She has a new book coming out sometime in the future, and I'm reading it.
Yes. I also need to read Big Girl Blitz.
That's what I just finished most recently.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm reading that now. So good. All right. So artificial intelligence is just, you hear about it and it's disrupting a lot of industries. I'm curious to know, like, how it's like impacting you guys. Do you see like these books being created with AI as competition, and also do you utilize any of the AI tools to expedite maybe the editing or writing of your books, or do y'all just like don't touch it at all?
Yeah, I think the only thing that I use is, what is it called? Pro Writing Aid for like editing, for the grammar things, because I'm not good at punctuation. But otherwise, I stay away from it. I think the biggest way it's affected me is having to be more diligent. When you're working with artists and things like that, we have to ask the questions like, I don't want AI, make sure you're not using that, things like that. I think it's causing us to have to be more diligent in what we do for the things that are out of our control.
Yeah, I haven't used it. And I think, like you're saying, my biggest thing is, especially when we're reaching out to artists to create art to go with it, pre-order campaign art, things like that, we have to be more thorough. Something that annoys me is when people say that they think something's AI because they're using M dashes. And I'm like, listen,
I love an M dash.
You could put an M dash on my gravestone because I love M dashes, And so I think that I don't feel concerned, because in order for AI to create art, it needs us first, and I don't think it's ever going to be as good as what a human can create, because we bring our own experiences and things like that to the art that we make. It's very concerning. I'm the friend who, if you are talking about something, I'm like, did you know? Like, all my friends know them, that's how I feel about AI. But I do think that there are some good uses for it if it's like going to cure cancer, but if it's just like a big data center that's ruining somebody's, sorry, now I'm going on a tangent, but like, if it's just ruining communities, then it's like, it's definitely something that I think more publishers need to be protective over their authors with.
Yeah. More vigilant. Yeah. This is my cousin.
Hi.
Hi.
First of all, I have your glass of wine. So.
You got me some wine?
Yeah.
Oh.
See, you need some wine. Cheers. My question is, first of all, hi everyone. If you don't know, I'm her cousin. What is for you? It's for you both. What inspired you both to want to write?
Okay, me. Well, I've been writing for as long as I can remember. My mom could tell you. I wrote in a lot of composition books. Those like, what were they? Those white like hardcover books that were just blank, and I would write my short stories and draw little stick figures to go along with it. Yeah, I've been writing for a long time, but I never thought about pursuing it as a career until COVID, and I literally had no choice. It was like, Brad, I think I wanna do this, and he was like, okay, what do we need? What do we need to do to make it happen? So, it's possible. They're okay sometimes. The male species.
And as a reader, I just want to say I'm so proud of you. So.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I liked to write too, but when I was in high school, our English teacher brought in her dad, who was the author, and he said, my books helped her through college. And I was like, oh, you can get, this is like a real thing. Like, you can really like turn this into a career. And so that's what really started me. I was like, this is like, it's weird. I didn't put, you read all the time, but I didn't really put two and two together that like, this is what people are just like doing.
Well, this one, I was like, oh, when I said I wanted to pursue writing, she's like, oh, finally, because I've been telling you to pursue writing. I was like, you also told me I had to go to college. Like, I could have been doing this, but you said I had to get an education. So here we are. I do just want to say about the scavenger hunt, if y'all would like to participate. If you'd like to participate in person, there's 10 different locations that you would need to go to get them. Do y'all want to know what they are? I wouldn't even make you work for them. So one of them is Charm City Books. Another one is Loyalty Books. Another one is East City Books. Okay. Mahogany Books. Busboys and Poets. Specifically the Hyattsville one. Yeah. And then there's Greedy Reads on Remington. And then there's Barnes & Noble White Marsh. Okay, all right. Okay. And what's the other one? Sweet Nothings, the Bookish Company, which is Baltimore's own romance-only bookstore. And then the last two are actually not bookstores. One is Era Wine Bar, and then the other is A&R Workshop, which is like a craft store for DIY type of things, which I thought was appropriate for the artist vibe. So those are your 10 locations. Go get the prints, please. And that's it. Thanks for coming, guys.